Hello and welcome! I am Benny, a member of the Bravo team. Today, I'll be walking you through Keeping It Confidential, where we'll explore how confidentiality protects your company, client trust, and our competitive edge. You'll learn what confidentiality means, the role of NDAs, your responsibilities, and the impact of breaches. Let's get started. Let's start with the basics. Confidentiality, in simple terms, is about keeping private information, well, private. This could be anything from a client's personal information to our internal strategies or unique methods we use in production. Now, here's an example to think about, especially for those in manufacturing. Imagine a customer asks to see your production setup. It might seem harmless, but revealing too much could actually show them proprietary techniques or designs. So, keeping certain areas restricted and setting up clear guidelines about visitor access is a smart way to make sure we're protecting sensitive information. Next up, non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs. Think of NDAs as formal agreements where we promise not to disclose certain information to unauthorized people. They help us protect the private and proprietary details that are key to our business. NDAs come in two main types. One-way NDAs, these are when only one party, like an employee, is agreeing to keep information confidential. Mutual NDAs, these apply when two parties agree to share information but keep it restricted, common in partnerships or joint projects. When you sign an NDA, you're agreeing to protect that information just like you'd protect something of your own. For example, in an office setting, if someone asks for a report with client data, pause and ask, does this person need this information? Sharing only what's necessary helps protect everyone involved. Let's take this a step further. Why do NDAs matter so much? NDAs are essential because they create clear boundaries around information sharing. They legally protect our business interests, our reputation, and our relationships with clients. They even spell out exactly what will happen if these boundaries aren't respected. It's important to realize NDAs aren't just legal forms. They're our way of saying, we value and protect what we've built together. Here's another example. If you're in a restaurant setting, you may deal with proprietary recipes, supplier details, and employee pay rates. If a customer asks what's in a secret sauce, it's natural to want to share. But think about it. Keeping that recipe private preserves our unique edge. Employee responsibilities. Now, let's talk about your role in all of this. Everyone here plays a part in keeping information confidential. Some of the things we can all do include controlling access. Make sure sensitive documents are stored securely and only visible to those who need them. Being discreet. Avoid discussing work-related information in public, especially around unauthorized people. Screen privacy. If you're working on a sensitive document, make sure it's not visible to others and log out when you step away. Think about this for trades, like plumbing or electrical work. If you're working on a high-profile client project, you might be tempted to share details because it's interesting or complex. But keeping things like client names, project details, or costs confidential shows respect for the work and protects your professional relationships. Potential consequences of breaching confidentiality. Now, let's get into what happens if confidentiality is breached. A confidentiality breach, whether intentional or accidental, can have serious consequences. These might include legal action. An NDA breach can lead to costly lawsuits or fines. Second, once trust is damaged, it can be hard to rebuild. And third, in serious cases, a breach could lead to changes in your role, disciplinary action, or even termination. It's important to remember that confidentiality violations affect more than just the company. Depending on the nature of the breach, there may even be personal accountability. This helps us understand just how serious confidentiality is. So, what are some things you can do to keep information safe? Here are a few best practices to follow. Use secure passwords. Unique, strong passwords protect systems and data. Use encrypted communication. For emails or messages containing sensitive information, encryption adds an extra layer of security. Dispose of physical documents properly. Shred or securely stored documents when they're no longer needed. Be mindful of your surroundings. Public places like coffee shops, public transport, or even crowded meeting rooms aren't ideal for discussing sensitive information. Here's a specific example for restaurant employees. Think about where your recipes or payroll documents are stored. A small action, like securing or locking these materials, makes a big difference in protecting valuable information. To wrap up, confidentiality and NDAs are at the heart of what we do. By protecting our information, we maintain a trusted reputation, preserve our business's value, and fulfill our commitment to ethical standards. Thank you for being part of this training, and remember, if you have questions or need clarity on anything we covered today, please reach out. We're here to support you in making sure these standards are met.